So welcome everybody to Sohmalife Sundays. My name is Reverend Lynn LaBorde, and this is a co-creation with my dear friend Robert Scarpa. Rob and I are both residents of Huntington in New York, which makes us New Yorkers. I'm actually most recently in Virginia, living the most amazing existence down here, having a lot of fun. I had some exciting news come this week that I wanted to share with everybody, which is that the people from the Foundation of Inner Peace are going to let us use the titling from the Course in Miracles book. When we finish up the transcription of the work that I'm doing with Mary Magdalene for the journey that we're doing with the 365 lessons that we're going through. It's been an extraordinary journey. Today we were on lesson 73 and I was like, oh my God, time is flying. Really, really beautiful stuff. So I'm very excited for that. And I know that Rob has some books that he's going to be publishing this year as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. I am going to be published very soon.
Of your amazing channelings. Rob, do you want to share how this whole journey of you channeling started? I just think that's always such a sweet way to start the evening.
How it started. Well, like each of us, we all started this journey into spirituality at different points in our lives. And for me, it was about 5-6 years ago. And I always was interested in the channeling aspect of spirituality, not so much giving readings and things like that, but receiving those messages from, those higher energies or greater energies. A little more than 2 years ago, I took a class with Lynn at her center with Wendy Gale, a lovely friend of ours. And Wendy introduced me to my spirit guide. I didn't know. And at the time I was told it was Osiris. And I didn't know anything about Osiris other than it was Egyptian. He was Egyptian. And the journey started that day with automatic writing. And then within about 5 months, I was receiving messages every day. And they weren't just from Osiris. They were from many different energies, galactic, angelic, energetic is another term for them. And so I've been told I'm a universal channel. That means that I'm able to tune into many different types of energy to receive messages. So I got a really big radio dial, I guess. I'm just able to just keep cranking it until I hit all the stations, even the short wave, I think, Lloyd. I think I'm getting a little short wave lately too. So, and that's how it started. And now it's pretty much every day. If I set the intent to sit and ask for some guidance, you never know who's going to show up. And I don't know how many people or how many energies. Sometimes it can be 3 and 4 in a day. It's just a matter of how much time I put into it is what I get back out of it. And many cases I ask for messages that I may share, and that seems to really open up, and a lot of stuff comes through when I ask specifically for that stuff to share versus just personal advice for me. And that advice, when I get advice, it's not just specific to me. It's very generic. But when I ask for them to be shared, when I put the intent to share them, they can be really long. This first message I want to read, if it's okay, Lynn, we'll get started.
Yeah, of course.
Is from Sanat Kamara. Now, Sanat Kamara is part of Saint Germain's posse. Okay, they're the, I guess, the ambassadors for the age of Aquarius. And I was introduced to Sanat Kamara around the time I was introduced to Saint Germain and the Great White Brotherhood, which is white meaning light. Okay, not any other connotation, but white light. So that is the Great White Brotherhood, and they've had that name for more than 100 years. So before we took those words and gave them new meanings that were maybe not necessarily what we like. So this message, and this particular morning, I asked for Lakshmi. She is another spirit guide of mine. Lynn introduced me to her physical form. I didn't know what Lakshmi looked like until about a year ago. And I was receiving messages for about 8 or 9 months. And then all of a sudden, Lynn handed me the statue. and Lakshmi had 4 arms, and I'm like, whoa. So there really is no limit to who you can dial into. That's the bottom line. But Lakshmi comes in quite often. So this starts with me asking, Lakshmi, are you there? And she said, yes, Robert, good morning. I said, please align me with Sanat Kumara. He said, greetings, dear one. Thank you for your request of service this day. And how may I assist? I said, Sanat Kumara, from your perspective, how is the transition and shift progressing? And what is the status of the light? He said, the light one, and that is all. I said, will we be witnessing en masse the appearance of ships and family members soon? He said, all in due time, all in due time. Your planet is not ready for a mass experience yet. That is not to say it won't happen, but just on an individual or case-by-case basis. I said, how can we accelerate the process and move into the next paradigm? He said, just let the process unfold gracefully so as not to disrupt more than is required to achieve conversion. I said, do you have a message that I may share? Why, of course. Simply put, you have already won. Victory is upon you. It is taking shape with each and every moment of your existence upon Mother Gaia. There is nothing required of you or anyone else, only to remain calm and at ease. Utilize this time to heal the body as well as the mind, and release everything that does not serve, and embrace the change. Recognize your divinity and step into your power as a creator God, a most powerful being of light, for that is what you are. Nothing can change the truth of your existence in this realm or any other. Earth is simply a low frequency, high density arrangement that is now going through the conversion process. So each moment, each day that goes by, know the progress never ceases. It only continues to expand. As you view the programs and newscasts, it is obvious that much is changing, even as those in seats of power attempt to maintain the status quo. The lockstep of one side versus another is no longer in tune, and many are beginning to break free and demand something better. Individuality is beginning to make a comeback, and it is witnessed in so many ways. Change is everywhere. Not always good, but it is required to loosen things up. Once the dust settles and the fighting among the elected subsides, many will realize the truth of what has been occurring for millennia. The steering of humanity and the controls put upon you dissolve. Great will be the celebration of the victory of light, and no longer will anyone be required to submit to another in any way. Releasing the chains that have bound humanity is what is happening now and will continue for those who choose the light and leave the dark behind. Great are the efforts of your galactic families to release you from the overlay and control and limitations applied by those with an agenda that is outside of love. Compassion is the most powerful tool that lifts all boats, and as the tide shifts, all will eventually drift with it or sink back down. It is your choice, as well as each and every incarnate upon Gaia, and we look forward to a fleet of souls rejoined in oneness. You all have what it takes. It is simply a matter of trust. Thank you again for your time this day, and please do not hesitate to inquire further. With love, Sanat Kumara. So, starts off with the light one, the victory of light. Now, that's been a common statement week after week now for probably the last 6 or 8 weeks, going back to at least at the beginning of February with that statement. And it was advised that we proclaim that statement every day, all the time. For me, it's been at 11 minutes after the hour. At 11 minutes after, I notice the clock and I just say out loud, the light one. I say it throughout the day, but specifically at 11 or 11 minutes after any hour. And we were advised to say it even though we're not talking to each other directly. When we see that clock, whatever that time is, say it, and that collective energy, that collective consciousness continues to add energy and power to the greater collective to move us into this new paradigm within the age of Aquarius and away from the darkness that has been gumming up the works for millennia, as it states in the message. It's our time. It's our time to break out of this, and it's up to us and our mindset to continue to move us into that new paradigm. Our biggest enemy in all this is fear, and that message is brought to me almost every day as well. Fear is what stops this ball from rolling, what stops us from advancing, what stops us from connecting, from meditating. All of those things are, occur when we're living in fear. So it's a matter of just trusting in our higher selves, trusting in our true divinity, and just going from there and asking the questions. These messages don't come without me asking. I set the intention, I ask the questions, and they want to talk to us. There's nothing that they'll talk all day long if we give them the opportunity. Really, it really is the case. So if you haven't tried it, try it. Try automatic writing. Lynn, my dear friend, she channels, as many of you witnessed, out loud and in front of the camera. And with that, when Lynn's channeling, the difference is she steps aside in that sense, and then she has to play back the tape for the most part to remember what the messages are, right, Lynn? Where for me,
I'll remember it like right away, but then it literally just falls. Like you
like
have
a dream.
Like
Right.
You remember a dream first thing in the morning, and then
Right.
later on you're
a
like,
dream. Right.
Exactly. Like it's very funny. It's instantaneous.
Yeah. And for me, the messages, I step aside when I'm writing them or receiving them. And if I don't read them right away, and even if I do, I don't remember them if I go back to just kind of check to make sure they flowed. And I'll read them later that day or the next day. I'll be like, wow, this is such a powerful message. I wish I would have read this earlier today. It probably would have shifted my whole day. But it all happens for a reason. The timing is always perfect. So it's not about, oh, I should have read this earlier. I know it comes to me when it has to.
Yeah.
And that's the way it works for me. And for you, Lynn, yours is a little different. And Lloyd, for you as well, right?
For me, yeah. I mean, Lloyd has that incredible relationship with God where the messages come through. And Lloyd, you said for a little while that the messages had stopped, but they seem to be coming back through again.
Yeah, they were interrupted for a little while.
Do you think that had anything to do with the medication you were taking for the pain?
I think so. Yeah.
What was the sense I got?
Yeah. But it was just for a little while. Then it started coming back. But I had this sense that he never left me to begin with. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that can affect your ability to connect. One is lack of sleep. One is pain medicine. Even for me, for the last few years, I've been pretty much off the TV set. I very rarely watch TV. And when I do, it's strictly people in the woods or digging for gold or something that's not a lot of brain power involved, and even then it's only an hour or two and then I'm probably fast asleep. And recently I decided to watch a Netflix series on the American Revolution, and it was a romantic version of history. But I was hooked on it, and I binge watched 5 seasons over the course of 2 weeks, every chance I got. And because my brain was always thinking about this series and all of the details in it, and the ones that I knew were accurate, and the ones that I had a feeling were, the writer had taken liberty with, and because I'm a history person, so to me, I'm like, oh, that didn't really happen. But I could not meditate. It was very hard to. The messages came in bits and pieces. I'm telling you, I couldn't wait till the series was over, till I watched the 5th season completely. And then I'm like, okay, now I can get back to what I was doing every day. And it wasn't that I didn't want to channel. It was that I wanted to see this series, and it just took everything. It just took my whole mind off of what I was doing. I probably needed the break from the channeling, And that happened once before at the beginning of COVID last year. I binged watched the series, and for 2 weeks I was watching things and I just couldn't get back to the messages. And then once I actually had to put the violet on something. Like, I got to put the violet on this and just transmute it, clean it out of my brain, just like we clean out everything else. I'm always telling everybody all the time, right? Clear out the cookies, close the open programs. Well, those binge watched episodes were open programs that I had to shut so that I could stop thinking about them and move back
Literally.
into where I was. And I never thought that that would be the case, but it is. Even lack of connection. Back around Christmas time, we had a Christmas party or something, and boy, I was hungover the next day, and the spirits knew it, and I couldn't get it, and I just kept writing connection fuzzy, and they're like, "Why don't you come and visit us later?" I'll find it. It'll be in a book, but it's really funny. They're like, "We knew you overdid it last night." I just couldn't keep that connection. But it's all there, and it's meant to be enjoyed too. It's not this doesn't have to be this labor of work, and I don't see it as a tedious procedure. I enjoy it. It makes me feel great when you connect with spirit. I mean, you feel that love, that energy, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. It really is. It's my study of the Course in Miracles, which, by the way, is how I met Lloyd and Valerie and Tammy. We were all studying the Course in Miracles over at Tina Spalding's platform. And it really comes down to the thing that Jesus said, which the choice is either love or fear. And the way to go from fear back to love is through forgiveness. And I had the most incredible experience of forgiving myself and my body this past week for what I had perceived was a betrayal of my body for things that had happened to me in my life. And I made such peace with myself and had this experience of just falling really deeply in love with myself. And it was just all forgiveness. Really, really beautiful.
Well, that's the key to this whole thing, is to release everything that we're holding. And really, we're holding this against ourselves. It's not that we're really holding it against other people.
Yeah.
We have to forgive ourselves for the things that we've said we've done, or the things that we believe about ourselves, which are all wrong in most cases. We're divine beings of light. We are all gods, right? The acronym for God is gift of divinity, and that's what we all are. And as soon as people stop trying to figure that out and just accept it, things go really fast after that. Once we accept, we have that ability to forgive ourselves, to release all of this nonsense. And it's mostly self-inflicted wounds, right, Lynn?
All of it is.
Right.
There's a class that I'm teaching right now. I've got about 25 students in it. Tammy and Valerie are in this training. And we're in the phase of it that's called quantum communication right now. And in quantum communication, you come across the power of words. And, in the beginning was the word. And you come to realize that when you look at somebody else and you're like, they did this, or I'm a victim of this circumstance, or I did this and I don't want anyone to find out, we keep this energy within us, things we're withholding from people, times when we've wronged people or done, mean or bad things. And all of that energy is what keeps us laden down. And when you can start to reveal that, communicate that, lighten up, everything is a communication, and love is a function of communication. So you're either communicating with love or you're communicating with fear. And when you can learn, true self-mastery is the forgiveness of self, you come to see that every person that you're critical of, that you have a grievance with, is someone that is a reflection of some aspect of you that you haven't healed. And the world becomes a house of mirrors. And it's very, very simple. Because whenever there's an issue with somebody, all you ever have to do is look within. Rory, your hand went up. Did you have a question? It says she raised her hand. Rob, you're muted.
Yeah, I guess she hit that by mistake. I saw she said hello in the chat, but that was it. So there was no other message.
All right. All right, good. So we have such power with our minds, such power with our hearts, such power with our words. And when we become really vigilant for what it is that we say, what it is that we think, what it is that we, how we bring that energy in and then how we release it, that's where we really have the power of using our own divinity for us rather than against us. It's lessons we've been learning
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
doing this journey. Yeah, it's been really
yeah.
beautiful.
We do a great job of beating ourselves up. That's for sure. I mean, that's for sure. And once you realize that, and you can break free of it, and move on with your day, and that's the key to this whole thing. It really is.
Yep.
It's terrible what we can do to ourselves. That's how we put ourselves in hell, right? Hell is in our own mind. We create that hell. We keep ourselves there. We beat ourselves up over it day after day, moment after moment. And it's about releasing that. And that's where the meditation comes in. If you're not meditating every day, you need to start. You need to at least spend 5 minutes to just shut everything off and let the love come in. And when the love comes in, everything else starts to wash away.
Jesus says 5 minutes every morning and 5 minutes every evening, just upon wakening and just before bed. And it recalibrates. And he says, and forgive yourself every single day. I have a girlfriend named Allison Armstrong, and she has this really extraordinary daughter. And one time she asked her daughter, she said, what do you think it is that makes you so special? And she said, I forgive myself every night before I put my head on the pillow. How gorgeous is that?
Yeah, we just get to have an experience.
The process of forgiving myself has had me fall so deeply in love with myself. I'm finding myself like unflappable, like not triggered by things that used to make me crazy. Although my mother today, we did one of those family Zoom calls, and she said something, and I was like, Mom, is that really your opinion? And she goes, no, I heard it on television. I was like, stop watching television. Like, that's not how you are. She's like, oh, do you want me to go back to being a good Christian? And I'm like, yeah, like how you raised up.
It has its benefits.
Definitely. Definitely. Anyway, very funny. Very, very funny.
Now, I don't think I read the message from Saint Germain last week, did I?
I don't remember.
Okay, because a lot of people ask, because we talk about Saint Germain, and many of my messages include the violet, right? And utilizing the violet consuming flame to cleanse everything that doesn't serve us in that aspect, or that technique to forgive yourself, to use the violet to help cleanse and clear all that, to transmute. The word is transmute. And a lot of people ask, well, how do I do it? What's the process? And there's all these different things you can look online. And quite often I'll just tell people, oh, just look online. You'll find something that resonates with you. But in this message from Saint Germain the other day, he kept it very simple with regard to how to use the process of the violet. And I'd like to read it if it's all right, Lynn.
Yeah, of course, my love.
All right, because this is, and the comments I got after posting this, I did post this message earlier in the week. People were just so grateful that now they have a way to do it without making it a big process and overly complicated. It's very simple. So I asked Saint Germain, I said, dear Saint Germain, do you have anything you would like to share this day? Greetings, Brother Robert, and thank you for your inquiry. As you can well imagine, I am here and delighted to impress upon you the significance and purpose of the violet consuming flame. As you continue to speak of and expand upon that most mighty tool of transmutation, the bells and whistles go off for so many. When you speak of the system of cleansing and clarifying one's mind of all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions, many relate to the experience without even knowing its true purpose and power to heal. If each soul incarnate was to utilize the violet within their daily lives with consistency, the course of humanity would greatly improve, as the collective consciousness would rapidly synchronize, and all would begin to feel the results almost instantly. There is no better tool or technique available. The violet is the panacea to all man's problems. For there is no limit of application. It should be used on everyone and everything that is not in alignment with Gaia, in addition to every relationship. So simply envision the flame surrounding and engulfing anything that needs mending, and trust that it has been rectified, balanced, and restored to its natural beauty and luster. There is never a better time to use it than now. So apply it liberally and feel the shift within your life.
Mm.
Think of it as the Holy Spirit in action, providing you the ease and grace of transmutation. I implore you, one and all, to introduce this powerful tool into your existence as you live your current life and restore the balance and return to love. Love is the answer, love is the foundation, and the key to restoring harmony to mankind, now and forever. With great excitement, I anticipate the release of all the negativity and imbalance that has afflicted humanity's existence for far too long. We, the Ascended Masters, await the final victory of light and the release of humanity from the darkness that has contaminated so much of your existence in this realm. Freedom is here for one and all, so expand your use of the violet and accelerate the liberation from all that limits your true happiness. I am Saint Germain, and I love you so. Farewell for now, and remember to call on me whenever the need arises. I'm always right next to you, awaiting your requests and delighted to assist.
That's beautiful.
So it's just
I found-
envision it. Nothing more than envision it. Let me
I
shut
found a
that
couple
door.
of violet flame decrees that I wanted to read. This is one that I love from Elizabeth Clare Prophet. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame, to light alone I bow. I am the violet flame in mighty cosmic power. I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power freeing everyone. That's one of my favorites. I just found this other beautiful one. I am the violet fire, God's all-consuming love. I am the violet fire descending from above. I am the violet fire so crystalline and bright. I am the violet fire releasing freedom's might. I am the violet fire transmuting through and through. I am the violet fire making all things new. I am the violet fire of mist and flame supreme. I am the violet fire restoring heaven's dream. I am the violet fire, a mighty whirling flame. I am the violet fire ascending once again. I am the violet fire transmuting through and through. I am the violet fire freeing me and you. I love these when I find them so beautiful.
Yeah, affirmations are a wonderful way to pick yourself up and
Mhm.
really help to align your energy. Our cells are all connected to everything. Everything is a vibration. Our words are vibration. It's sound. It creates. Your body listens to it. Your cells hear everything that you say.
Mhm.
So only say nice things to your body. Don't own any of those illnesses or ailments. Those are just things that are occurring in your experience. They're
Yeah.
not yours to own. If you own them, they don't go away. You don't want to keep any of those illnesses, right? So it's all about, okay, I respect you. Thank you for what you taught me. Now get the hell out of my body, right? Done with it. I have no time for this stuff. And I like this one little statement in this. It says, think of the violet as the Holy Spirit in action, right? Flowing through you. So that's what it is. And it's
I
there to
remember
restore.
whether it was Jesus or Magdalene that said recently that the Holy Spirit is our higher self, and that it's basically our soul aspect. And so
Makes
when we're calling upon the higher self, when we're in alignment with the Holy Spirit, it's the aspect of our soul that is, like if the ego is the earthbound aspect of us, the mind of ego, that the soul is that higher. So when Jesus talks about reaching out to the Holy Spirit, he's really talking about us reaching out to our higher self. And my higher self, she revealed herself as Sohmalife to me. I was doing a series of meditations when I was doing live meditations where I would have people put their head in their heart and then their higher selves would show up and we would step into our higher selves. And because I was doing this daily, she showed up and it was unbelievable to see that aspect of me, that aspect of higher self. And so she's the one that I turn to. She's the one that I talk to for guidance. There's always Jesus and Mary and Hathor, but that relationship with Sahaniel really was unbelievable. And then I had the good fortune of having Lynn Gerhardt paint her portrait. Oh my God, that was really extraordinary. Rob, she did one for Gene, a man that's in our community. Have you ever considered having Lynn do one?
Yeah, I figured, but everybody's so busy. I didn't want to,
He's
add
not
to
good.
the workload for everybody.
Deborah, you had a few done by her, didn't you? One for you, your mom, and your sister.
Yeah, I had 3 of them done, and all 3 were absolutely, oh my God, mind-blowingly gorgeous. The great thing is that my mom, who's 86, has hers in her living room. Lynn had given me this gorgeous gold frame for it, and so I bought a frame stand because I knew my mom wanted to put it on her wall unit. And my mom actually stares at it and it moves. It talks to her, it speaks to her,
Really?
the eyes
Wow.
open and close. Yeah, so it's gorgeous, and I fully believe that we can all experience that.
Yeah. You know what's
Yeah.
funny? Lisa Fazio was here and she just dropped off, but that picture frame came from Lisa to Lynn, from Lynn to me, and then from me to you. And then it went from you to your mom.
Oh, I thought it was Deb. I thought it went from Deb to Lynn.
No, it was Lisa Fazio. Anyway, I love how we're all in this tiny little community. By the way, Valerie had to drop off. She said she was making her way back to Dallas. The Violet, Carla's teaching this course right now with Saint Germain, and when it comes to an end, she's going to do it again. I am praying that she does it again on Thursdays. By then, I
I
should be
think,
done.
yeah, her next one, from what I understand, is going to start on Mondays.
Oh,
Oh, really?
2 of them running
Well, that's
concurrently. When she gets to the 4 weeks, which will be 4 weeks this week, the following week, in week 5, she will start week 1 all over again with a different group. So they'll be always overlapping. They're closed groups. You have to be in it each week. She doesn't let anybody in unless you're in it from day 1. And those are her
Right.
instructions from Saint Germain. He's been very clear to her
I
how
had the same thing with Jesus when we
Yeah.
were doing the masterminds.
very
There
clear
were
how to
closed
do
groups.
it.
There were 5 specific people in it. It was
Yes.
5, yeah.
Yes.
She
And-
actually, Carla did a makeup class with me and a couple of other people today because I completely zoned out and forgot about Thursday's class, and Carla was gracious enough to go over it with us. But the funny thing is that the meditation was different for us than it was for the guys on, the people on Thursday. And I said, that's because it was meant to be that way, And
Yeah.
I was just painting and completely got lost in my painting and forgot all about the class. So, yeah, I guess we were all supposed to do a different meditation, but I believe Carla's in class with us on Mondays, so I don't know
I
how
know
she would
that
do that on Monday.
it was interesting. She was just saying to me, "Are
It's
we
going to be
doing
early in the afternoon, I think she said,
Oh, okay.
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 at like 3 or 4 o'clock
Okay.
or something. Something like that.
She was
She's-
asking if
it's a work in progress.
classes had merged because I told her that I was merging the classes, but she said the only night she could do it was Monday night, which is anyway. I'm sure it'll all be worked out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would definitely be able to do the Monday night if it's earlier. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, because she has some people that are on the other side of the pond. So the 5-hour difference is better for them if she does it a
Yeah.
little earlier in the day.
I've got 2 people that are in England and Norway
Right.
that are taking the class, and with Wednesday opening up, I'm going to start a new series of the quantum living curriculum. And I've got to be able to accommodate people that are overseas for sure.
Well, this particular thing that with Carla and Saint Germain with everybody, he's here to help us expedite this transition. The
Yes,
power
sir.
of the violet is what has been given to us to use for everything, every aspect. You know, when he uses the word panacea, it's the panacea for all that ails us. And that's a big word. And I heard that word many years ago, and someone else who was channeling Saint Germain would say it, and I always would laugh. And it was Norbert, brother Norbert. So when I received this message the other day and I read it back to him, he bust out laughing because he's the only one that uses the word panacea. So, so I said, well, this must be in alignment with you. And he was delighted to hear that, you know, all of his words, you know, all these years later are still being brought back around through the ascendants. And
We've got to bring him back and have him do another
oh,
like,
yes,
flame
yes,
decree.
absolutely.
He's so amazing at that.
Yes,
I
he
love
does
when he
beautiful.
speaks.
Yeah, and he's going to be doing. I believe he's going to be part of Carla's Saint Germain weekly
Yes,
thing as
yes.
well.
She had
Yeah,
asked for his information because she wanted to include him in
yeah.
that.
She in her messages she shared them with me. She was instructed to get in touch with me, to have me get involved in them, as well as Norbert. I guess
Yeah,
because
I
maybe
had
because
told
I've been
her
studying it so long.
well, and I told her that you did a lot of work with Saint Germain and with the Violet Flame, so that's great.
Yeah, and that's not ever anything I expected. You know, I figured Saint Germain would just be one of the many, but
Listen, did you ever
and
expect
even when he's not coming in, the messages introduce the
Rob?
violet. You know,
Did
they
you
bring
ever
it in.
expect?
It's all.
Did you ever expect that you would have written over 500 channelings
No, not at all, not at all.
and channeled over 40 different beings?
No, not at all, not at all.
And
Not what I expected at all. I
the
figured one or
degree of
two.
beings that you're channeling, I mean, it's all extraordinary.
Yeah, and it's just about finding that time to connect with each one of them. You know,
Okay.
like this morning when I asked, or the one morning, Sanat Kamara, that message, the first message I read tonight, that was because you brought it up last Sunday. You mentioned Sanat Kamara in our
Well,
conversation.
do you remember
So
when you and
then,
Rosemary and I
it,
were at the sanctuary and he came through and
right.
I
Yeah.
was going down.
So then that's it. So I knew Monday morning, I guess it was Monday morning, that he wanted to talk. But, you know, it was the name stuck. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he's there. You know, some days I have no idea. Most times I have a good feeling of who wants to be there. You know, you feel it like now, Lynn, as they're entering you, they want to share a message. I can see.
It's funny how we all introduce one another to different beings because I had never heard of Osiris before. And I was, running through the house, cleaning, going through my stuff. And I was like running from the bedroom into the dining room because I forgot to put something away. And I heard Osiris and I was like, what? Looking around. So believe it or not, we all introduce others to beings that are around them just by bringing up their names. Saint
Oh,
Germain,
sure.
I had invoked the violet flame, every once in a blue moon. But then the more I would hear you reading your channelings about Saint Germain, it started to click. Yeah, hello, Deb. That's the guy who's been trying to get your attention, start invoking the flame. And so oddly enough, doing Carla's class, the week before she starts something, I've already started it with him. So bringing it into the chakras, I started that last week with him, so it's just, we're all messengers for one another. And it's just beautiful. Really is beautiful.
Oh yeah. Well, my sister Rory, who's down there, he's in the dark over there, but she was with us. We were introduced to Saint Germain the same day, the same time. We both met Norbert together. So she's been doing it just as long as I have.
There's a woman named Sharon on Facebook who just said that she'd never heard about Saint Germain until you introduced her to it.
Sharon Brenzecki?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. It's so interesting. I was introduced to Saint Germain and the Violet Flame, oh my God, probably 30 years ago with Elizabeth Clare Prophet's little book.
Yeah.
And they talk about surrounding people in the violet flame. And I remember I surrounded my mother and two of my best friends And I was like, oh, and I heard from all three of them that week going, I'm having like the most incredible, like bizarre dreams and nightmares. I don't understand why. And I was like, I don't know that I was supposed to do that. And then like at the end of the book, it's like, be very careful about surrounding other people in violet flame, like it's something that has to be of your own volition. And I was like, all right, oops, sorry.
Yeah, I believe that to be the case. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure we can encourage and put it on others, whenever we want, but I think that you really need to leave each person up to their own journey. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, everybody's got to learn to walk and learn to run all by themselves, and it doesn't hurt to add it to the mix. But like with anything else, we really need to focus on us, and from us, it beams out to everyone else, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, Hathor showed up, and then Sanat Kumara showed up.
Oh,
I'm gonna read
message
Hathor
drop.
through.
Hey, Stephen.
Greetings, beloveds.
Greetings.
Understand that we all look upon you. We see the good works that each of you are doing. We see you turning towards the light. We see the invocations of the violet flame. We see each of you in your diligent prayers and your intentions for meditations. We see each of you in the kindness that you offer, the forgiveness that you offer of both self and others, beloveds. And know that for us, we are here to be of assistance to you. Always, we are here to offer up any guidance that we may. We proffer opinions here and there, in the whisperings and the murmurings that you hear from us. We, of course, are not allowed to intercede in any way with your journeys. But when you do open to us, and when you do ask for assistance, and when you do ask for guidance, understand that it happens instantaneously, for we are of the light as you are. We are indeed on the same path, same journey, and the good news, and we hope not to spoil the ending, is that we do all indeed end up at the same place at the same time. Understand, beloveds, that each lifetime you have an opportunity to complete, to bring to an ending, to tie in a neat little bow whatever has been left undone, been left behind, if you will, in other incarnations. You get caught in this cycle of incarnations here within the loop of this dimension. However, each of you may indeed step out and say, ah, I remember. My purpose is greater. My purpose is broader. My purpose is higher and wider, and with the breadth and the depth of your beingness is magnificent, beyond imagination. You who are the guardians of suns and galaxies and spheres of influence, you have brought yourself down to this pinpoint of consciousness, thinking that this is all that there is to you, and you do not always look highly or favorably upon yourselves, beloveds. Pish posh, we say. We say it is time for all of you to remember the grandeur and the majesty that you are. For that is indeed the truth of you, beloveds. And when you need us, call upon us, for we are always with you. Allow yourselves to remember all that you had learned in the temples and the lands, and know that indeed the light has won. It always has. There is no other way for it to be. Our blessings are upon you always, beloved ones. Always.
Thank
And
you for
you
joining us.
indeed reach out to us. Greetings and salutations.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was most wonderful.
Steve?
Yeah.
Hi, sweetheart. It's good to see you. Aw. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stephen Durante, a dear friend of mine and a soul brother for Robert. I know that. And Steve is going to be our guest coming up in May. We really look forward to having you with us, Livy. Can't wait. Can't wait.
As am I.
That'll be really fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. How have you been, my love?
Wonderful. I just finished the session and I feel even so much more connected after listening to this channel message of yours. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hathor, that's so cute. You must have come in when anyway. She has great affinity for you. Yeah, it's funny. Every day I'm channeling Jesus and channeling Magdalene, when they all hang out, obviously. But I do delight in getting to bring her through. All right, we have one more comment on the violet flame. Mary says, I have done work with the violet flame years before, but actually moved away from it for some reason. And I'm now working with it again as it is coming through for us so much now. Oh, sweet.
Well,
Yeah. So, Steve, we were just talking about the use of the violet flame and how powerful it is. Carla Gito, who's a local friend of ours, is teaching a course. Deborah, you're in the course. Is she channeling Saint Germain? How is she doing this?
So she channels Saint Germain. She actually channels other beings as well. Depends on the meditation and what she's bringing forth at that moment. Sometimes it's Saint Germain, it's the Blessed Mother, it's several others, Katumi, whatever. But yeah, she channels a lot.
on Thursday, she brought in Saint Germain after the meditation, and then Saint Germain took questions, which was
Beautiful.
it was very unexpected, and the messages were really profound as usual, and it was nice. I didn't expect her to take questions at all, and so it was nice. I was glad I was able to be a part of that class, and look forward to the transcript of that one.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Does she have someone transcribing it?
She has someone within the group that's going to take care of it.
Excellent.
And it's so nice to see Tammy's logo in the big T and with the violet too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I noticed that earlier. Isn't that sweet?
That's what it's all about. Everything is purple now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
It is. Hey guys, I want to tell you about something really exciting that's coming up. We started doing Sohmalife retreats, and we did a retreat a couple weeks ago in Virginia Beach, and it was all about the Akashic records. And we got to go. We were literally a half a mile away from the Edgar Cayce Center, where we're staying at this gorgeous Wyndham. Everybody had oceanfront views, and we were sitting there on the Atlantic. And so we went over and we spent the day at the Edgar Cayce Center, and we did some really, really intense work about being able to see even more clearly and experience and hear and feel and everything when you're in the Akashic records. And Alicia and I were done. We were like, let's do it again. So we're doing another one in April. And then in July, we're going to be coming back to Huntington. We're going to be doing Melchizedek ordinations. Reverend Dan is going to be coming down. So if there anybody that hasn't done that and would be interested in that, that's going to be really precious. Yay, Deb. And Carla's going to come and teach about Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. We're going to bring in Sarah Curley. She's going to teach about light language. Rob said light language is for girls, and I said, how dare you? Joseph Dyro is going to be coming in and teaching about mediumship. I am going to be doing more of working with clearing the clairs to clear people up so that they have full use of all their, psychic abilities. Let's see, who else is going to be there? Oh, Alicia's going to be teaching people how to use a pendulum. It's going to be one of the gifts that we get if we get these great gift bags. But the work that Carla's going to be doing with the Violet Flame is going to be really extraordinary. I can't wait for that. She's really an incredibly gifted young woman. So, and then we're going to be doing a retreat in Costa Rica, and we're going to be doing one in Sedona. So it's going to be a really exciting year. COVID be damned.
That's it. I had enough of that.
You know, right? I think we all have. I think we all have.
You want to have one more message if you want to close with it. It's a short one.
Oh, do it. Do it.
Okay. This is from Octavius. Okay. Is it Octavius? So, greetings, brother. How may I assist you this day? I ask, do you have any messages to be shared? There is always something to convey, and I would be most delighted to share with you the news of celebration and liberation. It won't be long now before the Emancipation Proclamation is reissued, and this time it relates to your entire planet and not simply a select group or another. All people of Earth are set to be free from the confines of control and manipulation from entities foreign and domestic. That is why it has required such a diverse conglomeration of energies, galactic, angelic, etheric, to immerse themselves in this battle for the souls of humanity. Rest assured, this would not be the success it is without the help of your teams from every corner of creation. Relief is coming as we continue to dismantle and remove those individuals and systems that have restricted so much and work tirelessly to continue and perpetuate this horrific overlay of false truths and narratives, restricting one's thoughts and controlling behavior for far too long. It is time to celebrate, and as we do, we will also continue the purge of darkness, always providing the option for one and all to choose the light and renounce the dark, as they are reminded of the divinity within each and every human throughout this galaxy and beyond. It is a great wake-up call to all those who may have believed that there is nothing more than meets the eye. This is the victory of the light, and without the help of every incarnate upon the earth plane, this could not have happened yet, and so soon. The collective consciousness of the human is so great and the remembering so extensive that all have felt the change and begin to recognize the activations occurring constantly, waking up the DNA and expanding the ability to receive downloads and upgrades of information as planned is working perfectly and with great efficiency. Of course, there are those who are still stuck, and that is because of fear. It is so debilitating to the human psyche. So even as we continue to lift the vibration of so many, there are still and will continue to be some who do not expand and wake and make the transition into the new. We will not give up until every soul has the opportunity to choose love, choose light, and accept their divinity as truth. This is a work in progress, and we are confident in its outcome. It is God's masterpiece, and greater will the experience and abundance of all things without fear or anguish. Continue to work the words, continue to share in what has been proffered, and know that we are with you all always. Farewell, dear brother, Octavius.
Beautiful.
This is the victory of the light.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
That was really great.
Yeah, we've got this. We just got to stay up, and remain at ease, right? So many of the messages to remain at ease. Today's message was incomplete. I got this morning and it said, we need to rest more. You need to rest more. We have to upgrade, to integrate these new frequencies. We've got to, and not sleep and stay in conscious rest. So I guess that means stay awake.
They tell me I have to put my phone down at 10 and in the other room.
Yeah.
Astro just came in. He must have sensed your cat. I have these little scratch pads and he loves to.
Yeah, I don't sleep with the phone in my room. It stays downstairs. And
Yeah,
I
they
have
said,
not years.
no.
That energy can stay where it is. I'll find it when I need it.
Hey, little boy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I invite you all to come and visit in Virginia have a gorgeous home here. I have completely found myself to be happy, in love with myself. Like, it's just amazing. Got away from all the madness. I am truly where I want to be. Thank you for this journey, beloved Robert. Thank you, Lloyd, Deborah, Steve, Tammy, Rory, for being here consistently. Steve, can't wait to have you on.
Can't wait either.
That'd be really sweet.
Can I bring Buddy?
Yeah.
As soon as Robert was doing his channel message, Buddy, he's a Zen cat. This cat is very, very connected. Very, very connected. He's yeah, he's contracted to me on the journey. As soon as you started speaking, he had to be here. So
Really?
yeah, yeah, he resonated.
And it's truly not a coincidence that his name is Buddy, because we were talking at dinner about our dog that passed away a few years ago, and his name was Buddy.
Oh,
So thank you. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know that Buddy is present.
Aw.
He was my love. I loved him. And my boys are right around here too right now. My dogs, my two dogs. But Buddy was, I just loved him to pieces. So thank you for that gorgeous message.
Oh,
That's
So
great.
precious.
you know, they say our pets are contracted to us, right?
Yeah.
And just a short little quick story. I'm a diabetic, and Buddy is a Maine Coon, and at one point he was literally 25 pounds, moose. And then all of a sudden he started developing diabetes and started dropping weight. A little eyesight issue in one of his eyes, and one of my intuitive friends brought to my attention that he's here to assist me on my human journey by literally absorbing some of the I guess, physical challenges that I have with diabetes, and literally is there with me in this 12-year now portion of my life that he's been alive. So it's, you know, I just feel and look at him from a soul level as opposed to just being a pet.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Stephen,
Beautiful.
I'm the word police all the time. And you started that with I am. No. It is.
It is.
It is.
You know,
Okay.
funny-
Not I am.
Yeah.
First step in healing. Don't
Yeah.
own it.
It is.
Deborah and Lloyd and Tammy and I have a friend, and she calls it my diabetes. And I said, please don't ever say that again.
No.
It's not yours. It does not belong to you.
Nope.
Right.
Something you borrowed like a raincoat. Just take it off. And,
That's it.
Mhm.
Yep.
The body hears it all. The cells hear all of it.
That's right.
Give you exactly what you asked for, right?
Consciousness, consciousnness. Indeed.
Thank you for
I get
the
yelled at a
response.
lot for being the word police, and I'm guilty of doing those things too. And boy, do I get called out like that when I make that mistake.
I am one who calls him out the minute it comes out. I'm like,
Bam, bam.
oh, I love that we have each other.
But it's better
do that.
for all of us.
Listen,
We're better
Deborah
people
does it
for it.
me. I do it for, like we all do it for each other. It's so important that we
That's
have
right.
that.
That's right.
That's what I love about this community, is that we have each other. Gorgeous.
That's the collective.
All right, beloved. Thank you so much
Thank
for being here.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate you coming back every week.
Yes.
We look
Yes,
forward
yes,
to talking to
yes.
everybody soon. Deborah, your message last week, thank you. Tomorrow we'll catch up. I'll have a follow-up message that segues from your message. All right. We'll catch up.
Ooh, I can't wait. By
All
the
right.
way, your message that you just read from Octavius about it all coming to an end soon. I got that very same message. So that's just a validation for you. I got that message like yesterday or the day before. So, and wait for the big surprise. So
Yeah. The big
I'm
reveal.
open.
That's aren't we all? We're all ready.
Yeah.
Lloyd,
So I
take
can't wait
care
to
of
hear what you
yourself.
have to say.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Good luck on your healing journey, Lloyd.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Rosemary, good to talk to you. Stephen, Tammy.
Send my love to Lori, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys be well.
thank you. And everyone on Facebook, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you all for being here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.